Welcome to the Retiring Canada podcast, where our mission is to educate and empower you to make the most informed, rational, and productive financial decisions. Hosted by certified financial planner, author, and chartered investment manager Michael Isbister, you'll go behind the scenes to uncover the tips and strategies to help you invest smarter, optimize your retirement income, and reduce the amount of tax you pay. Michael is an investment advisor with Fundamental Wealth, a trade name of Harbourfront Wealth Management, an IROC dealer. And now, here's your host, Michael Isbister.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Retiring Canada podcast. In today's episode, we're going to discuss a strategy called Retirement Income Guardrails. Specifically, we're going to discuss how to keep your retirement income on track and not skidding into the proverbial ditch, how to juggle running out of money versus leaving a mattress stuffed with money, how giving yourself a raise or pay cut should be a part of your planning process, our team's 3-step process to implementing this strategy, and lastly, a few action items for you to consider. So if you're within the next 10 years of retirement or recently retired, you want to pay close attention in today's episode. This is for you. When it comes to retirement, running out of money is never an option. That said, leaving behind a mattress stuffed full of money is also not winning the game. As such, we need a strategy that keeps us somewhere between the two, no matter what. However, there are two major unknowns that make this very tricky. First, we don't have any idea how long you will be retired, which is a really nice way of saying we don't know how long you'll live. If we did, this would be easy, and we could bounce the last check on your way out the door. However, to be safe, we plan for you to spend 30 to 40 years in retirement. Second, we don't know what the markets will do. All we know is that at times they will go up, and at times they will go down. It's a little like starting a car trip without knowing the distance to our destination and with no map on how to get there. Since we don't know the length of your retirement or how the markets will respond, we've devised a strategy similar to driving on a winding mountain road, which we like to call guardrails. Ask yourself, would you prefer to enjoy more experiences during your retirement or less? Do you want to leave a mattress full of money to your beneficiaries, or do you wish to enjoy the time you have a bit more? With this retirement income strategy, you can balance your best interest of living a fulfilling retirement while not running out of money and perhaps leaving some extra to your beneficiaries and charities. Now, I'll be the first to admit, the guardrail retirement income strategy is a lot more hands-on for me as an advisor. It requires that I continuously monitor my clients' retirement income and bring forward suggested changes to keep my client's retirement income on track. It also requires a bit more from the client as well. What I mean by that is, well, if markets go down and spending needs to be adjusted, there needs to be a willingness and a follow-through to make the appropriate changes. Conversely, when markets are good and we can give you a raise, are you open to the idea? So who is this strategy suitable for? Well, if you're someone who wants to get the most out of their retirement dollars without the fear of running out of money or leaving a mattress full of it, this is for you. Alright, so before I get into a bit more detail about what this strategy is, let me tell you what it is not. It is not a replacement of a comprehensive financial plan completed by myself or one of our other certified financial planners. Oftentimes, our team will distill our strategies down to a one-page financial plan into a brief, easy-to-understand summary. So on the surface, it may appear simple, and that's by design to help you, our client, make sense of what we are recommending. But make no mistake, as certified financial planners, we are bound by a code of 8 principles that guide our code of ethics: the duty of loyalty to the client, integrity, objectivity, competence, fairness, confidentiality, diligence, and professionalism are at the core of our values. I will leave a link to these code of ethics in the description. So while on the surface we may boil things down to one page, rest assured that we have applied our knowledge, experience, and education to conduct a comprehensive financial plan that gives us the confidence to manage someone's life savings. I chat a bit more about this in a previous podcast, episode 4, titled One Page Financial Plan, The Truth. We take the level of trust our clients have placed in us with the utmost amount of respect and responsibility. Alright, so now that you know what the Retirement Income Guardrails isn't, let me tell you a bit more about what it is and how it can benefit you and your family's retirement plans. This strategy is designed to give you the highest possible monthly income without jeopardizing your portfolio when, not if, the market declines. At its core, this strategy can be established and maintained with our 3-step process: preparation, consistency, and discipline. The first piece of the puzzle, preparation, is gaining a clear understanding of your potential incomes in retirement. During this step, we want to gain a clear understanding of your projected fixed incomes, so things like CPP, OAS, and defined benefit pension plans, so we can establish a baseline of income. Next, we want to have a clear understanding of what you expect your spending to be in retirement. This one can be tricky, as the first few years of retirement tend to be a bit more expensive. For some additional help with fine-tuning your retirement budget, check out episode 11, Financial Profanity, Budget. There are lots of helpful tips and suggestions in there that I'm sure you will benefit from. Okay, so now that we know your fixed incomes and your retirement expenses, we need to now subtract the income from the expenses. Is there a shortfall? This is the gap we are looking to address with your other retirement assets, so we can understand the level of income your investments need to generate. At this point, we would need to have a look at your investment portfolio, so things like your RRSPs, TFSAs, non-registered accounts, defined contribution pensions, and holding companies, to name a few. From here, our team can analyze the tax implication of withdrawals from each account as we develop your income guardrail. We also need to gain a full understanding of how these funds are invested, so knowing what kind of account you have and the underlying investment in those accounts is crucial. As we analyze how they are invested, we begin to think about ways to build out your war chest of cash, high-interest savings, GICs, alternative assets, bonds, term deposits, and more. Using the phrase war chest might seem aggressive, but we really think it's quite appropriate here. When your investment portfolio is attacked by volatility, uncertainty, and doubt, you will be thankful you have a war chest to help you defend your retirement and will allow our team to be strategic in how we deploy each of the tools in your war chest. Now, if you have a look at your portfolio and you see that you have just 1 or 2 balanced portfolios in there, the guardrail just isn't going to work. This strategy hinges on a properly constructed portfolio in order to keep your retirement on track. Alright, so in summary, the first step to this strategy is preparation, and it involves the understanding of your fixed and variable income, expenses, portfolio construction, and tax efficiency. The next step, consistency, outlines how the strategy is put into practice, reviewed, and monitored during your retirement. Now that we understand your income gap, we have built your war chest, and understand how your investments will be taxed during withdrawals, let's walk through an example of what this may look like. For a PDF copy of this document, check out the show notes and open it up so you can follow along. Pause the episode and take a moment to open up that document. Okay, so now that it's open, let's do a quick role play on how this would look. Mr. and Mrs. Client, with your nest egg of $1 million, we will start retirement by taking $4,500 a month in income. This income will continue so long as your nest egg stays between $840,000 and $1.25 million. If we drop below $800,000, either because of bad markets or because you decide to take a big distribution, let's say to buy a $100,000 RV, we will plan to temporarily reduce your income to $4,000 until your nest egg recovers. By being willing to tighten our belts during the bad times, we can safely take a lot more income during the good times. Is this okay with you? Okay, so some of you savvy investors out there may be thinking, well, what about the 4% withdrawal rule? Well, one of the reasons most firms and individuals use the 4% rule is that it's very easy to implement. Just do the math once, set up the monthly distributions, and you're on autopilot for the rest of your life, or until you run out of money. On the other hand, for guardrails to work, we need to constantly monitor and adjust your portfolio, including maintaining a war chest of cash, GICs, bonds, alternatives, and strategically rebalance to protect your income, and adjust course when you hit the guardrail. This is what my team is prepared to do for you. So in summary of step 2, consistency, there needs to be a repeatable, easy to understand process, both for our team so that we can execute our strategy methodically, and also for our clients, so that it remains top of mind and is reviewed regularly in a way that is easy to comprehend. Lastly, in our 3-step process is discipline. The key to success when using this strategy is the willingness to stick to the plan when the time comes. You could run into a guardrail in a year, or maybe it takes 5 years, but when it does come, there needs to be action. Our role as financial planners is to constantly monitor and review your guardrails and communicate our findings. As we go through this process, we will maintain a disciplined approach to help you get the most out of this strategy and the most out of your retirement. So there you have it, our 3-step process for implementing the Guardrail Retirement Income Strategy. We believe in simplifying our clients' lives, not overcomplicating things or making them difficult to understand. Prior to implementing the Guardrail approach to retirement income planning, we were like every other hard-to-understand advisor out there who talked about Monte Carlo analysis and probability of success. Think about it. Have you ever been in a meeting with your advisor and heard, you have an 86% probability of success? Does this clearly express how much money you can take out of your nest egg during a down market? Worse yet, does it clearly answer your core question or fear about running out of money in retirement? Monte Carlo analysis and probability of success are data points that as your certified financial planner, we need to model and fully understand to have confidence in our suggestions. These comprehensive financial plans are a must for an advisor to uphold their code of ethics. However, are these overly complicated analyses really the best way to communicate whether or not you'll be okay? We think there's a better way. Alright, so let's jump into some action items for today's episode. First, if you find yourself asking yourself either A, will I run out of money? Or B, I don't want to underlive and leave a mattress full of it, give some serious thought to this strategy. Get in touch today if you feel that this strategy is right for you and your family. Second, have a look at your investment portfolio. Are you currently holding 1 or 2 balanced funds? Whether or not you're implementing the income guardrails, it's good practice to review your asset allocation, so things like cash, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc., to see if your portfolio could withstand a market downturn. If everything is pooled in 1 or 2 funds, it can be very difficult to weather a market downturn. This is where you may need to start building out your own war chest. Lastly is to keep it simple. With simplicity, things are easier to communicate, understand, and execute. There is power in simplicity, and you should attempt to harness its power not only in your personal finances, but all other aspects of your life as well. Alright, so that'll do it for today's episode. For all the links and resources discussed, please check out the link in the show notes or visit retiringcanada.ca. If you enjoyed this show, please subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast app. And if you have any questions you'd like me to answer on future episodes, please click the link in the show notes to submit your question, and I will do my best to answer them in future episodes. And hey, when it comes to your retirement, don't take chances. Make a plan so you can retire with confidence.
All comments are of a general nature and should not be relied upon as individual advice. The views and opinions expressed in this commentary may not necessarily reflect those of Harbourfront Wealth Management. While every attempt is made to ensure accuracy, facts and figures are not guaranteed. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing or tax advice. Please seek advice from your accountant regarding anything raised in the content of the podcast regarding your individual tax situation. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.